Welcome to Retrograde, the show where we plumb the depth of gaming history. This is episode number 39, and today we're discussing the Nintendo title Super Mario Brothers. My name is Jack Marshall, and I'm joined today by Anthony Hobday.
Hello.
Lazanne Fisher.
Hi.
And James McFadden.
All right.
Woo! Mexican wave around the table. No one... okay. Everyone joined in Hobday. You, Anthony.
Who's now
Just sat there.
They can't see. Why would you let them know that I was the weak link?
I've got to characterise you somehow.
They've worked it out from the show, don't worry.
That turn our listeners against us.
Special occasion, guys. We're all here.
Oh, yeah,
That's
we haven't
weird,
done...
isn't it? It
It's
feels a
been
bit
6
unusual.
weeks.
Thanks for turning up, guys. I know it's hard with your busy schedules. You know, an hour every 2 weeks. It's hard to spare that time. Even God doesn't ask for that much time.
Well,
but,
you joke.
No, God asks for more time. He wants you for 2 hours in church every Sunday.
You only asked for 1 hour.
That's more
How long
time.
has church got longer since
You're
I
not
went?
going to church
always
for
been 2
5
hours.
hours a day, you keep
I know. I think it depends on the church. but
Yeah, it depends on the church. Depends on the
It's
service.
usually 1 hour from like when I used to go, and that's once a week. So,
I've never been.
50
I don't know
minutes
why
if the
I said
priest
2
is in a
hours.
rush, you know, wants to get home and watch Strictly on
but that's
TV.
1 hour a week, which is more time than you ask from us.
Yeah,
Also, in church, you get loads of paper to eat, which you haven't offered us today.
and wine. Where's my wine, Jack?
Good. Imagine if I gave you wine on this show. Good lord.
Yeah, we did that. That wasn't
Good
good.
lord. Praise. Anyone been up to anything interesting?
Yes.
Go
I'm
on.
going first. Gravity is a film that came out.
Yes, it is a film that came out.
watched
Except we need to have a spoiler-free discussion.
Yes.
Yeah,
fair enough.
that's cool.
Anthony is the single member of this podcast that hasn't seen it.
Has Jack seen it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Luckily, it's not gravity
Did
grade.
you like it?
I gave it a solid 7.9 out of 10.
You gave
Oh,
it
you're
an 8
such
out
a
of
douche.
10 the other day.
It went down a decimal point as I've had time to think
how
about
did it go down? Okay.
Yeah, you know, I watched another
Spoilers.
Sandra Bullock film that kind of ruined it for
Come
me.
on.
So
She's 49
Anthony,
years old.
Spoiler alert.
She's
Sandra Bullock's in
fantastic.
it.
It's crazy.
Oh.
it has declared my love
I
a
like
bit for
her.
her because I've only ever seen her in things like Miss Congeniality.
She's
and
usually
Heat.
really unappealing.
She's
but actually
amazing.
Is the main character in Gravity.
Has she done a-
awesome.
She has a
Serious
huge range.
role?
She's done loads of serious stuff.
Demolition Man.
I haven't seen that. I don't know.
You haven't seen Demolition Man?
No.
Oh, you should watch
But
that.
I have
Much
seen
better.
Gravity.
It's like Gravity,
in
but on
IMAX
land.
3D, and it was so awesome in IMAX 3D that I actually got motion sickness.
Oh, really?
And when we got home, I had to lie down because I felt really ill.
See, I saw it in
It's-
2D because I thought 3D was a gimmick, but everyone's saying that 3D was much better. So I'm kind of I don't.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
really
I mean, it was
worried.
IMAX 3D, so it filled the peripheral
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
I had to look away
That's-
from the screen quite a
See,
few
I saw it
times.
in 2D, and we were sat right next to the speaker, and you know when the title screen comes up and the music is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it's
was
really
like,
loud.
I was freaking out. Like that was just so tense. Like it was so tense. So I can't imagine what it would have actually been like in 3D with the whole.
It was amazing.
Thing going on.
It was an actual experience as opposed to just watching a movie. It was an experience.
Yeah, I got that in 2D as well. It actually, I don't want to say it transcends the bounds of the medium, but I want to say something like that because it didn't feel like I was watching a film. It felt like I was experiencing an event.
It's because
having a screen.
the narrative is so powerful and it draws you in so deeply.
Did you notice? And this is spoiler free, Anthony, but you might want to put your fingers in your ears for a second. Did you notice how it kind of it reverse mirrored like the evolution of humanity? Like don't sort of and that the final think about the significance of the final scene.
Of course.
And then think about what that could be an
Yeah.
allegory for. I thought that was
I
cool.
thought.
Oh, did you read that or did you make that up?
I read it.
Okay. That's deep,
I
man. I
thought
love
Jack
that.
has to be a
I love that.
contrarian.
I thought it was trope ridden.
Oh, really?
Oh, shut
So
up.
many
You're
cliches.
trope-ridden.
I thought it was a
He didn't
technical
know what a trope
mastermind.
was 3 months ago.
I thought it lived under a bridge. I thought it was a technical masterpiece, and I really enjoyed it. I did really enjoy it, but I did think there were a lot of bits like, oh, good lord. It was almost like, it got to the point where it was almost very action-filmy.
It was an action film.
But it was like,
There's
and
lots
like
of peaks
there was
and
I can't
troughs.
think, and this isn't a spoiler, but it was like Attack of the Straps all the way through the film. It was like, straps, grab that strap. There's a strap over there, grab that strap. Oh, there's a strap on
There
my
are
foot.
so many
Oh my
straps
god,
in
why are there so
space.
many
There have
straps?
to be
NASA?
lots of straps in space.
You have no idea how many straps there are.
I just want to really strap-on jokes.
Yeah,
Everywhere,
let's stay away from
everywhere.
those. But no, it was a very good film. I enjoyed it. It's one of the best. It's in my top maybe 20 I've seen in the cinema.
What I don't get is how they made all the CGI look like it literally looked like real life, and B, how they filmed the scenes where they're floating about because
CGI.
No,
What do you mean?
no, they did the when they in the rocket that you get 8 minutes of weightlessness.
was it?
I don't know if they. I don't
Was
know
it
if they
that?
did. I think it was just literally all CGI and just a lot of wires
But I
hanging around a green
remember,
screen.
I remember
Wire
reading
straps,
that
if you will.
they had to. The reason Sandra Bullock has such short hair in it is because they couldn't work out how her hair would move in space and how they would animate her hair if it was long. You know, there's some people arguing that it would be like it was underwater. You know, that kind of floaty thing, or
Yeah.
it would be standing up on end the whole time. because there's no gravity. Would it go
Also,
directly out from the head?
if
And
you were an
they couldn't
astronaut-
agree, so they just cut it off.
If you're an astronaut, wouldn't you have to have short hair even if you were a woman?
Well,
anyway?
I would want short hair if I was going to be in that
Yeah, that-
suit the whole
that would be
time. You would
totally
want short hair.
inconvenient.
You wouldn't want really long hair. It would get so knotted. It'd be a nightmare.
You're going to see Gravity, Anthony?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Don't have to. I won't worry too much about seeing it.
Shut up.
What have you been up to, Anthony?
I went
Anything
to
good?
a wedding and got ill. And then...
Sorry, that's not funny. Sorry.
Oh yeah, let's laugh
Went to a
at
wedding.
it.
Did you get ill from what? Alcohol?
He
No.
doesn't drink. What?
Oh. Well, how'd you get ill?
From other people who were ill.
Germs, Jack. Germs. Seriously,
Alright.
this guy.
Was it your sister's wedding?
No, that was in Dubai.
This is not getting married.
That was in Dubai and didn't exist. But it
That's
was
my
my
sister's wedding, man.
it was my cousin's wedding. So we're still a family member.
That's like a really far off sister.
Yeah, sort of. It's my sister from another
It's
mister.
like a half sister. It's a half sister.
Well, not. That's a whole different thing.
Well,
but
they're half genetically identical.
You know, there's actually a word for it,
Wait,
and it's
what?
cousin. So we don't need to think of another word for it. It's like a half sister. No, it's like a cousin.
okay. Was it good? Did you have fun?
Semi-sister.
I did a lot of dancing.
You always do a lot of dancing, though. In the last couple of years, you have danced your ass off, my friend.
I like to be the first one on the dance floor, but in this case, the kids were the first ones on the dance floor.
Well,
So-
the knee slides.
So I had to join them, and I
Knee
had
sliding.
a solid 15 minutes of kids chasing me around the dance floor, trying to hold
Knee
my
slides.
legs while I tried to
Really?
dance.
Sounds like you'd like coalition on a Saturday night.
What songs got people onto the dance floor? Because at my sister's wedding,
Oh, blurred lines.
So Sonic Crew, 21 Seconds, people went mental for some reason. And that Mumford & Sons songs, I Will Wait, people went mental. But what at your wedding? Did people
I-
get up and jive?
Wrecking Ball.
And I can't remember what it was that they first came up for.
Okay,
I'm not sure it was specifically the song. I thought it was just... Maybe they had too much of me.
Single ladies.
They wanted to like, okay, this guy's had enough. Let's just get up there and put him out of his misery.
Like the
I
really
can't wait till
guilty
one of us
version.
gets married and Anthony's the first one up there dancing.
No, you're not allowed to do that at a wedding. Cause, well, no, there was a first dance.
Did you steal it? Just run in and start slow dancing?
No, at this
yourself?
wedding there was a first dance, but it happened later in the night, so you could dance before that, which is a bit weird. But at most weddings, the
Oh.
couple has to have the first dance, so I'm
Yeah.
not allowed to be the first one.
Well, do they have to have the first dance?
Well, they're meant
you're,
to. I mean,
you're on the side of the dance floor tapping your feet waiting for the first dance to go, come on, hurry up. Come
tapping my
on."
feet to the beat. Yeah,
I meant in like, or whatever, but yeah.
yeah, but I would do it to the beat, of course, because
So was it a DJ or a band?
it was a DJ then a band.
Ooh,
Yeah,
fancy.
The DJ was playing pretty good dancing music though,
Yeah.
I see.
and
What when there was the whole aisle walking stuff? What music was going on? Jack, stop gagging on your coke.
Do you mean the ceremony?
Yeah, and
You know the whole aisle
Say
walking
your-
bit?
Did they play Canon and D?
no, they didn't. They played the wedding march, I think.
The wedding march.
I think yeah, it was something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Classic. Not as good as Canon and D, obviously, but
My sister
No,
had
they
Canon
didn't
and
have-
D.
How's that go?
okay, Jack, listen. This
That
is how
one.
it goes. Bum bada bum bada bum 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 bum.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better.
Ah, that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the up tempo bit. That's
Well,
that's when it breaks
that's-
down.
Yeah, you would have to walk really
That's
fast
when the bass drops.
up the aisle.
Isn't that Little Mermaid?
No, what,
No, that's
What it
Under the
was.
Sea. It goes. That's
the one
I don't think
I
anyone's ever walked up
That's
the
the
aisle.
one
to
I'm
that.
having. I'm having Under the Sea when I
No,
go
that
up
was
the aisle.
A Whole New World was in Little Mermaid.
No, that was Aladdin.
No, because she gets shown a whole new world because she's from the sea and she meets the prince and gets legs and it's a whole new world. The whole new world doesn't fit into Aladdin at all because they're in like the Arabic area the entire time.
Anthony's trying to
I'm gonna hit him.
reinvent
I'm gonna hit him.
history
I'm gonna hit him. I didn't
Oh
hit him.
man,
I
he's
clapped.
bleeding.
Ow. Okay, so
Yeah, good wedding.
Gravity Grade.
I've been doing a hell of a lot of work. Unlike you guys have been having lots of fun.
Oh, yeah, I've been doing loads of work.
I've been working on a game called The Novelist for Orthogonal Games, which is actually really, really good. It's a bit like Gone Home, but you're a ghost in a house, and you're like stalking these three people. And
Oh
you're,
yeah,
like,
your weird creeper game.
reading. It's not a weird creeper
It
game.
is a weird creeper
I
game.
think it makes
You're
sense that you're
playing
working
a
on that,
bloke in a
actually.
house.
I mean, it was second nature to me to watch people in their house going about their business.
Is there a masturbation scene?
No, it would. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Spoiler alert.
There is,
But no, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
But it's really cool. You get to read their memories and you get to see what they're doing and you get to jump in their memories and see ghosts about, what they're thinking about. If they're thinking like I'm really
Ghosts
depressed
about
today.
what they're thinking.
No, but if they're like I'm really depressed today, you jump into their memory and you can see a ghost of why they were depressed and stuff like that. And it's really cool.
It sounds like Psychonauts a bit.
A little bit, yeah. It actually does have a little bit of that. And I'm really forward to coming out. And I've been working really hard on that. A really lovely developer, a guy called Kent Hudson's been working on it.
cool.
And he's really good fun so far.
What platform is it on?
Steam.
And when's it coming out?
I don't know yet. He's not put out an official release date announcement.
Is it on Greenlight?
But I'm thinking he's hoping by the end of the year, but I don't actually know. I think it's Steam Greenlight as well. And it's good. Good game. But
nice.
I thought I'd actually share something that was actually gaming related rather than a wedding and a film.
Some of the banter was just
Lizanne?
the point. Just banter.
Lizanne, what have you been up to?
I've been working too much, basically.
Christmas
Really
holiday
hard.
soon, no? You must be breaking up in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something
I
like that.
wish.
When do you break up?
3 weeks on Friday.
That must be like the 19th, 20th, something like
20th.
that. Oh, it's quite late in the year.
Yeah. But, tried Meat Liquor in Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good.
Oh, is it? It looks really gaudy.
Me and Anthony went there on the
but
day it opened. Spoke to the
the
owner.
burgers are nice.
How do they compare to Troll?
Owner's wife.
Thinner,
Well, that's not good.
but the mixture of ingredients you have in is a lot more interesting.
If you don't live in Brighton right now, this is like a bizarre kind of thing of comparing all the best burger joints
Brighton
in Brighton.
is all about the gourmet burgers at
It
the
actually
moment.
It is a
It's
bit,
kind
though.
of
Gourmet
weird.
burgers
Do
has
you know what it is
become
recently?
the fashion.
It's been like wraps and what they call burritos.
No,
There's been about 5 burrito
that's not a
joints
thing.
have
That's
opened.
not a thing.
Listen, if you come to Brighton, there's a pub called the Hobgoblin, and in there is a man.
And the Brunswick.
Well, yeah, but the Hobgoblin's the main one. And there's a man in there who will
Brunswick
sell you a
inside.
burger. This little burger stand is called the
He's
Troll's
official, yeah.
Pantry.
He's not just a dude carrying
No,
around
well, I
burgers.
mean, it depends what day you go. And those are such good burgers.
They are
it's
amazing.
impossible to overstate how good
Yeah,
they
we
are.
had
I
one.
was,
We had one. When did we have one? Saturday night we had one before I made Neil watch Catching Fire.
Well, I was in...
Well, I want to see that because Jennifer Lawrence.
It's really good.
Is Jennifer Lawrence really good in it?
Yeah,
Does
Neil
she-
hated it because
Oh, really?
he's an idiot. Yeah, no, he's not an idiot.
Well, you said that now.
No, he's
recorded
not.
for
No,
posterity.
he didn't like it because
Oh.
it's a girl movie. He
Oh,
said,
okay.
and he's a boy.
Just so American fans can go, hell yeah! I was in London on Saturday and I went to Five Guys and tried a burger there. And I got to say,
how's that?
pretty damn good. First ever Five Guys in London, which people in America are probably laughing because I think there's one in every town. But we've never had one. We haven't even got like Taco Bell. There's only one Taco Bell and that's in Lakeside.
Well, in America it's weird, isn't it? Because they have like on the different coasts, they have the different really respected like burger chains.
Is it
like
Five Guys is
Five Guys in White
East
Castle.
and White Castle's on the
Yeah.
West. And then, I don't know, there's all
There's
these,
2
like,
Taco Bells in Essex.
Oh, is it really? Wow,
Yeah.
blimey. That's impressive.
Spreading.
We only got Subway about 5 years ago. Do you remember when Subways didn't exist?
We had
Subway was
more
about
than
10 years
5
ago.
years ago, Jack.
Really?
Yeah, we got a Subway whilst I was
Oh.
still living in St Albans where I grew up.
But remember, they disappeared everywhere
Yeah.
suddenly. It was just like, so where did all these shops suddenly get built with Subways?
Subway's good though. You can trick yourself
Franchise.
into thinking you're not eating fast food.
That's
It's brilliant.
Anyway, we should roll into this episode. Before we do that, we got the competition. Whoop, whoop, the Paul Manahan competition. Hit it, Anthony.
Yeah, the Paul Monahan giveaway. The prize for this week, or this episode, was Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed,
Carry on.
which is a fantastic game, if I do say so myself. And the winner is... Sim Update. So we're going to send you a message on Twitter with a... I'm pretty sure it's a Steam code, so we'll send you an email, but we'll give you a direct message on Twitter, let you know. The prize for next episode is the EA Humble Bundle, which was on sale...
4 months ago.
Yeah, months ago
It was quite a while
now.
ago.
But that makes it more valuable in the eyes of our listeners, because they can't get it anymore.
Well, if you missed out on it, yeah.
Yeah, and it includes Dead Space 3, Dead Space 1, Mirror's Edge, Crisis 2, Medal of Honor, and Burnout Paradise, all of which, apart from Medal of Honor, are pretty decent games.
The Ultimate Box as well for Burnout.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can
The
buy
best
it.
racing game of the last generation.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one actually.
Yeah,
a tricky one.
I mean, I love Burnout, so it's worth it just for that, especially since you're getting it for free. So if you want to win the EA Humble Bundle, just retweet our competition tweet, which we'll be putting up after this show goes live, and you'll be in for a chance to win.
Awesome. And well done, Sim Update, for winning last
Yeah,
week's prize.
we'll get
Brilliant.
in touch.
Cool. Yes, we're here to discuss Super Mario Brothers from the Nintendo, but before from the Nintendo on the Nintendo.
Sony Xbox Nintendo.
I want to say NES, but I don't know if NES is that a thing?
NES.
Is that
Yeah,
just?
it was
Is that
the
just?
NES.
No, but is it?
Of
Is
course
that
it was
just?
the NES, then
No,
it
no, no.
became the SNES.
But is that a UK slang,
is.
Yeah,
or is
Call
it a
NES in
NES? Yeah,
America.
it's the NES in
Really?
I've heard people
America.
just say NES.
Like SNES is actually not. I think SNES is quite restricted to the UK as well.
Really?
Super
Oh,
Nintendo.
really?
Super Nintendo,
See, that just seems
Super
crazy
NES
to me.
is what it is in America. But anyway,
Super NES. They call
Well,
it
the rest of the
America.
world
That's
got the
stupid.
terrible purple and grey version that looks
Yeah.
awful, so I suppose it makes
Oh,
sense that
really?
we have an affinity
But-
with
Oh, well,
it. Yeah.
we got an awesome grey one.
Yeah, ours looks way better.
well,
Oh, okay.
I tell you who would be able to tell you all this
TIL?
stuff. Who's going to give us a quick blurb on the game is Ace Connell from Nintendo Sushi Podcast.
Super Mario Bros. Is a 1985 platform video game developed and published by Nintendo. It was originally released in Japan for the Famicom on 13th of September 1985 and later for the NES on May 15th, 1987 in Europe and the US. It's the first game in the long-running Super Mario series of games. In Super Mario Bros., the player controls Mario as he travels through the Mushroom Kingdom in order to rescue Princess Toadstool from the antagonist Bowser. The game has been highly influential, popularising the side-scrolling genre. The game sold incredibly well and was the best-selling game of all time for approximately 3 decades. Wait, Jack, this script you've sent me, how can something be the best-selling game of all time for a set amount of time? Let's go away from the script. Right, you all know the score. The story's not changed. It's still the same in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. The only difference is she bakes a cake. You know as soon as that cake comes out the oven, trouble's going to happen. So what more can I say, really? It's Mario. That's pretty much all you need to know. So carry on listening. You can find out more interesting facts about other games that are the best-selling game of all time for a set amount of time.
Thanks for that, Ace. And make sure to check out Nintendo Sushi Podcast over at nintendosushi.com. That's Nintendo-sushi.com, I say. And it's actually really lovely guys. I got in touch with them. They're really sweet about it.
Yeah.
And yes, just a quick reminder that if you're enjoying this episode, though, of Retrograde, you should head over to iTunes right now and pop down a review for us because you'll get a badge, and for a limited time only, until the 25th, should we say?
Yeah,
you'll
25th
get
of December.
a really fancy-dancy Christmas card from the Retrograde team, signed by all of us, except James.
It's not my fault I don't have hands, Jack.
That's hand signed, not printed. We're not cheap.
Yeah,
We'll use
exactly.
real
We'll
pens.
sign them with actual pens
Oh,
with
yeah.
our actual hands as well.
Yeah.
Jack signs his in blood.
Mine's just a big X.
He never learned how to write his name.
Anthony puts on his favourite lipstick and does a kiss for you as well, isn't it?
And yeah, it's going to be a spiffing Christmas card, so that's going
Yeah,
to
it
be
is.
fantastic. And don't
That's
forget, you
the
can also
smart
follow
price.
us at Retrograde Show, where you'll see that competition tweet as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Super Mario Brothers, arguably one of the best games ever made.
Yeah,
I think the
Yeah.
arguably
Yes, it
is
is.
important
Yeah.
in that context.
Right, so I mean, this is a hard one for me to even go into and start discussing about because it's so iconic. It's Super Mario
Who
Brothers.
chose this game? It's
It's
me.
You did.
It was you.
Yeah,
What, I
okay.
mean, what was your mentality? Well, like,
It almost feels redundant having discussed Super Mario World previously, doesn't it, Anthony?
Well, I think the fact that we have discussed so many other Mario games, I wanted to discuss the... I'm just going to let the sound finish. Especially since we would have had this at the start of the episode. It's just a bit redundant. Okay.
I'll
Just,
stop.
yeah.
what struck you when you went back and played it now?
First of all, I chose it because it's basically the start of a series that has been very influential to gaming in general, and a series that we've covered very heavily in this podcast. So I figured, why not look at how it all started? Because this is about retrospective.
Well, then you could arguably say you should pick Donkey Kong then.
Why?
Well,
Because
not
Mario's
really.
in it.
Yeah, he's in it. But
No,
that's
but-
Yeah,
not-
but it's
not
a
the same
completely
format.
different style of game.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Platformer.
Doesn't count.
He jumps over barrels. It's
No, but
ironic.
Yeah, but not in this context. This is the first game that
Super-
gave us platformers
yeah.
as we would define them today.
Super Mario Bros. Was the start of the Mario genre as people know it, like the series. So I chose it, but first of all, I'm struck by how ugly it is now.
No.
Especially
Really?
since Super Mario World is like an iconic game and looks fantastic, and I think the graphics will stand the test of time, and Super Mario Bros. Is a bit sparse looking, like it's just a bit pokey, like janky, like
The clouds
sharp.
of the bushes! The clouds of the bushes!
When I first
obviously it's-
realised that, my mind, I was just like, oh my god,
Well, I'll
everything is a lie.
I'll just cross that out of the trivia section then, shall I?
Everyone knows that, it's not trivia. But no, obviously it's the hardware limitations, but I looked up best looking games on the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, And games like Castlevania 3 and Kirby's Adventure look fantastic for the NES.
Yeah. Well,
And so-
wasn't Mario released quite early in the life?
I think it was
Well,
like
yeah, and the thing
came like opened. It was a launch title, wasn't it?
I was going to say it was a launch title, and it in fact came packaged with the console
Yeah.
most times, including with Duck Hunt. But what I do love about the NES, even back in the days of the NES, when you compare Mario, a first generation game, with a late generation game, well, not late that late, but Super Mario Bros. 3, the difference in graphics, in the fact that even back then, the same thing we have now with like games obviously getting better over time on the same console.
Yeah.
They had that even back then. On
Yeah,
the
they
NES.
figure out how to use the hardware.
It's fantastic
best.
that is. I know it sounds really silly, but you would have thought back then the NES, it's so primitive hardware. They must have maxed it out on the first day, but they didn't. They were the graphics get a lot better by the time we got to 3.
I want to point out that the only reason I call it ugly, which is a bit harsh, is because it's so hard to look at Super Mario Bros. And not be blinded by nostalgia that I wanted to be harsh just to cut through that and say, actually, it's a bit sharp looking. Like, the graphics don't really fit together well, and the blocks are slightly 3D, but the characters are all 2D.
Yeah, it's
and that
unusual.
Yeah,
See,
it's not as
still think it's
visually
very pretty.
pleasing as the later ones. I mean,
No,
two,
like just the
two
plain-
is the worst. I hate 2 with a passion.
but 2 wasn't
and the
meant to be a
graphics
Mario
are
game,
horrible.
was it?
Doki
No,
Pong
it
or something
wasn't.
like that.
They just shoehorned the
Well-
characters into it at the end. But so ignoring 2, if you look at 1 and then you look at 3. 3 even now still looks great. Obviously, it's not quite up at Super Mario World, but for an end of NES game, Super Mario Bros. 3 is brilliant, and in that short space of time, you can see how much they learnt.
Yeah, like
And how much they developed
Super
over
Mario
those few
Bros.
short years.
has those flat black backgrounds that just
Yeah.
annoy me now, because
See-
there are other games on the NES that had nice backgrounds, and it's just like, why don't you spend the time, Nintendo? Jeez.
See, I know, I really like playing Super Mario Bros. Going back and playing it, although I did find it a bit slippy, which I wasn't expecting. But the reason I really liked it, and including graphically, is it stripped it all out, and it just took you to what the pure essence of Mario was, which was timing your jumps.
Yeah.
In a very nice. I don't know how you. I guess it's the physics of Mario jumping, which, to be honest, Mario 1, I mean, people would probably really correct me on this, but it still feels like it's the same physics, even all the way up to Mario Galaxy in recent games. It's still that same arch. It's still the kind of. I think he jumps a bit higher in this Super Mario Brothers. I think it feels like his jumps are a lot more
it's
extended.
higher as opposed to longer.
In Mario 64, he jumped way less. I'm just putting that out,
That's true.
Well,
But,
I'm guessing jumping is the sort of thing Nintendo spends a lot of time working on for
Well,
every
of course,
Mario
it's
game.
the main-
90% of their gameplay is jumping.
Yeah, so it probably feels the
love
same
that.
because
It
they
stripped out. Like, you couldn't pick up shells.
Imagine working with
There was
jumping
only
department.
fire power up and the growth
Trampoline.
power up. That's it.
Yeah.
And it just stripped it all out and took it back to the pure essence, which I can't think of many games which you could probably look back at like the real core basic primitive gameplay right at the
Wait, but
base
saying
of this.
Doom, Quake, Pac-Man, Tetris, Asteroids.
I guess so, but it's kind of no. But I mean,
Space
in
Invaders.
terms of one series, because it
Oh,
has
okay.
been around for like 30 years.
No, but saying this-
That's
it's
true.
kind of it's fun to strip it all the way back to its pure roots, which is just jump.
But saying they stripped it out is a bit of a strange way to think about it,
Well,
because
it's-
they hadn't added that stuff yet. So,
You mean pared back?
Yeah,
no, but
Again,
because
that
like
makes no sense either.
Yeah.
because you're looking back, but they were putting new stuff into this game, and then
Yeah.
they thought of even more new stuff to put in the next game and the next one, and they do that for every Mario game. But this had, like, even the fire power up they could have left out, because a lot of
Yeah.
NES games were boring as hell.
Yeah.
I would say that if you were bad at this game, which I actually was not very good at this game, playing it again,
Neither was I.
then you would probably suck at all Mario games.
Well, I think they give you more.
If you aren't good at this game, then every other Mario game after that, you're going to struggle.
Well,
Okay, that is ridiculous because I have never completed the original NES Mario Brothers. Okay, but I have completed every single subsequent game since of Mario.
Except for Mario 64.
That means
which
you're
is
good
Well,
at it.
except for Mario 64.
That means you're good at all the faffing bits they brought on later. But if you want to have a hardcore
flapping your
challenge,
hands
you
at
go
me.
to Super
Anyway,
Mario Brothers.
No, because this leads me on to my main criticism of Mario Brothers, which is you can't save your progress. You have to start from the beginning every time. If you run out of lives, you go back to level 1-1. Which, for me, was very irritating. I didn't like it.
I think it makes it better.
But it takes you back. There's a really nice image on the internet, which is a Pac-Man outline and cross-stitch. And in the middle it says, I wish games were like the old days where to get harder, they just got faster and faster until you died.
Yeah.
Which
like
is really
life.
nice. Yeah, exactly. It's
Well,
along
it's
those
that-
lines. But and so Mario Brothers falls into that.
It had that
Bear-
arcade
You can't
mentality.
save it. Yeah, it's
Like, it had
that
a
arcade
score and a
mentality.
death for no reason.
You live or you die. That's
Bear in
it.
mind, and I was going to talk about this later, but it does have one of the most famous ever, like, secrets ever, is where you can jump on
Oh,
the
jump
scoreboard and you
someone
can
run
do
off
the
the
warp,
top.
the warp tunnels,
Yeah.
which in a way were kind of a level select almost, because you could get to the 8th world by only doing like 4 levels, if I remember rightly,
Yes.
which isn't great. I know. I mean, it should be in the front end.
But personally, I
yeah.
don't count that as having completed it because
Yeah, it's
in
true.
order to complete the game, you should play from level 1-1 straight through to the end of level world 8.
If you wanted to
without
play,
using the warp tunnels.
if you wanted
In
to go
order to
through,
say you've completely completed it.
if you wanted to go through and see every level without using the warp, like we would have had difficulty doing that the first time. And the warp tunnels are really better for the second time you play it and want to just skip to whatever.
Exactly. But it's like Super Mario Galaxy. I can say I've completed it, only having got 40 stars. However, to 100% complete it, I need to have got all these other stars and then the bonus stars that come up afterwards. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I consider a game completed, is when you've got everything you can get.
So you saying you'd prefer it if they'd ended the game after World 4 and then to get 100%, and that would say, yeah, you completed it, and then the rest of the worlds are unlockables?
That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying...
take that? What you just
I have no idea. This is where Jack's brain just completely baffles me. I don't understand how he exists.
She's just saying that she likes to go through everything to complete it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
in this case, it's
my
arduous.
definition my definition of something being complete is having done everything there is to do.
Oh,
And in a game like this, when you can't save, that's a bit more difficult because you have to go through it
Because
again and again
you
if
have
you
to do it
mess
in
up.
one run. Because you can't save it. You can't turn it off.
Well, that's the point.
You
isn't
have
it?
to do it in one
that
sitting.
kind of punishing mentality. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, this game is kind of like being someone who goes to sort of 5-star or Michelin star restaurants and eats the best foods that humans can make, and then kind of going somewhere and eating what maybe indigenous peoples in Europe ate like 500, 600 years ago. You know, it's like it's the proto game. It's not even the same type of medium anymore, is it? I mean, come on. You've got a little man that runs from left. Compare it to something
It's
like...
a keystone in games design.
Yeah, but I mean, so was the discovery of the wheel in terms of technology. That doesn't mean that it's still, like the most impressive thing. It's like, it's hard for me to appreciate because we've come such a long
I
way
see.
intellectually and artistically.
It's like Miley Cyrus to Beethoven. I get what you mean.
I'm gonna hurt you, my friend. No, listen. That
You
kind
mean
of,
Justin Bieber to
Sorry,
Beethoven,
carry on.
Jack?
Sorry, go on.
that kind of
OMG.
mentality, the one just sort of, if you die, you go back to the start of the game. That nowadays that is so
Well, it's
foreign.
still
to
got
us.
like
Yeah.
lives, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Well,
if you run out of lives, you go back
But
to
are
the start
you
of the game.
you kind of saying you should not play Super Mario Bros. Then don't
Oh,
bother
no, I'm
playing
saying
it?
I think you definitely should play it.
Oh, everyone
But
should play it at some
This
point
is
in their
why
life,
games
definitely.
are such a weird thing to talk about in the context of sort of what they are, because Mario is a game and something like Heavy Rain on the PlayStation 3 is a game, but they're not both the same thing. There's more variety there than there is in any film, any television, any music, any book. You experience it in a totally different way. So going back to this, it's Super Mario Bros. It's probably the most famous game of all time. It's really hard to separate what I think Super Mario Bros. Is from what I'm actually playing. Like the art style, when Anthony was saying that he found it to be ugly because obviously he was trying to react against his own preconceptions of what it was, I find it harder to do that because I think it still looks quite good. Everything's iconic. The colour scheme, just the way everything
It's
is.
bold.
Well, it's
for sure.
so iconic.
I think it stands up quite well, but I could be just basing that off of the fact that it's now so ingrained socially in my mind that is what I think of when I think of old games. So I'm prepared for that. I think that the gameplay is kind of it's the most intuitive thing you could ever do, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about how if you're bad at this game, you're bad at all Mario games, but I don't think that's true because I think it's actually quite hard to be bad at this game. You just need to play it for a bit. I mean, really, there's basic movement and jumping.
Very simple concepts.
Absolutely, it's fundamental.
Well, hold on, wait, but it wasn't fundamental until this game did it.
Right, I mean,
Well,
you've got to consider that.
It created
I know
the
it sounds like a silly
genre.
thing to say, but yeah,
Well,
This is
I
kind of-
don't know about
created
that.
the
I mean,
platforming
when,
genre,
when you've
but-
got 2D objects moving in a 2D space, basic geometry like gravity and jumping over stuff is
Well, I
one of
guess
the first concepts. you
other
can come
games
up
have
with.
done it, like
And
Joust
Donkey
and things
Kong
like that.
did.
Donkey Kong,
like
yeah.
you said, it did it first. This game kind of, I think, Part of me thinks that a lot of Mario games are received so well because they're Mario games. Not because everyone's just going to give a really good review to Mario, but because we've been conditioned to enjoy that aesthetic and we like the characters and the blocks, and there's so many themes and stuff that are now part of Mario that we love.
That's a really interesting question, actually, because I was sitting with my housemate Mark, and the new Super Mario is supposed to come out, Super Mario 3D Land, getting amazing
3D
reviews.
World.
But I said to him, it's interesting though, I'm sure it's an amazing game, but if, for example, the characters hadn't been Super Mario and it had been something like Adventure Time, or something a bit more...
If it was Adventure Time, it would have got even better.
No, okay, so do you know what I mean? Something a bit more abstract,
if it was
that's not really...
an unknown IP...
Would it score as highly? And I
Not
think
a
it would
chance.
probably actually be about half a point down, maybe a point down
I'd
from a lot
say,
of reviewers.
it would not be anywhere near as well
There is
received.
a real... whenever you play the new Super Mario 3D games, and they are amazing games, don't get me wrong, they are fantastic, but there's definitely a comfort factor of, it's Mario.
Well, yeah, it's the familiarity, of course it
Yeah,
is. That's
is it-
why it's such a successful IP.
Yeah, but it's funny because it could also go... Cause obviously
Like
it's,
Zelda series.
but I like the fact that if the game is actually bad, it can obviously be very negative. Like a Sonic game now, if I pick up... I used to love Sonic with my bro, but now
Yeah,
I pick
they
up
ran
Sonic
Sonic
game
into the
and I'll
ground.
start going, oh, here we go, let's see what Sonic's like these days. Oh, he's horrible. But anyway, sorry, that was a really bad point.
No.
Well, that's the thing though. With an IP like that, your standards go up. You're conditioned to like the games that come out. So when they disappoint you in a massive way.
Yeah.
But if they
True.
meet those expectations, they're going to kind of do it in a really blockbuster way.
Before we get too far off the point I was hoping to throw in there, I remember seeing a video of a Japanese guy who had never played Super Mario Bros. Before. Maybe he hadn't played a video game before, because they'd found this guy. I think it's the one guy in Japan who hadn't played Super Mario Bros.
That just seems ridiculous.
Satori!
I thought they had to by law. Didn't they have video game lessons?
Yeah, I think he maybe left the country and came back when he was older, so he'd skipped that whole...
Right, okay.
But they gave him a NES, like they hooked up an actual NES to a TV and... idiots. And gave him a controller, one of the original NES controllers, weirdos. I just play it on my phone, you know. I think they gave it to him and he jumped over the Goomba you get in the first section. I only saw the first section. And then he hits the block and the mushroom comes out and he runs away from the mushroom.
Yeah.
Because he thinks there's another enemy. So I think the things we think are intuitive are only because we've become so used to Mario
That's
that...
interesting.
Well, Mario's had that issue that I don't even know what it's called, but ever since Mario, any platforming game I play, the first thing I'll try to do is jump on an enemy's head.
Yeah.
And there are some
Of course.
platform games where you can't jump on enemies' heads.
Yeah.
If you touch them, you die. And that's always a classic, like, oh, it's not a Mario. Okay, it's not Mario. I have to shoot them instead.
Like DuckTales.
Or
Goof
not
Troop.
Gunstar Heroes, but you know what I mean. Like a Metal Slug, for example, you
Yeah.
can't jump on people's heads.
Yeah. Mega Man.
oh yeah,
Super
I
Meat
guess
Boy.
not.
Yeah, exactly. But so I was about to make a point, and I guess that actually would go against. I was going to say, would this Mario be the best game for someone who's never played video games before
Yeah.
to pick
Well,
up?
yeah, it
and go,
might be,
right,
but
Yeah.
they would
start?
still
would
not...
this be block one? Like this is the building
Well,
block.
I don't
Yeah.
know, Jack. We
gaming
need to
career.
do that experiment on your future children that you were talking about ages ago, saying you weren't going to let them play any video games ever apart from the original ones, and then suddenly show them
Yeah.
the PS4 and
Just
one
see how
day
much-
and watch their brains
'Cause
explode.
I wish I could go back to me as an 8-year-old and go, Jack, come here, have a look at this PlayStation 4, play Killzone, and I'm pretty sure I would think it was magic. I'd be like crying.
You're going to cry when you play Killzone nowadays, Jack,
Well,
be honest.
To be honest, I think we've had discussion before, but I'm so happy I'm not a teenager right now. No offense to any teenagers out there, only because games are so good that if I was a teenager right now, I would have done even worse in school.
Yeah, but people were saying that in the late 90s, weren't they? Oh my god, Half-Life is coming out. No,
But what I mean is that like you can get like Super Mario Bros. Fantastic game, but you know, arguably you could complete it quite quickly and then you'd be just doing the same thing over again. But a game like some games like Fallout 3, I could have been, when Skyrim came out, I could still be playing Skyrim and not have seen everything and not have done everything.
Yeah.
Like imagine that as a kid. Imagine getting Minecraft as like a 12-year-old me. I would have been absolutely addicted. I would never have stopped playing games.
Loads of kids are addicted to Minecraft at school.
Well, I just...
And you know they are, because they don't hand in their homework.
They just give you blocks of dirt.
They do. They do.
It's a problem.
They keep bringing in this big block which is white and fuzzy going, man, and I'm like, it's a sheep. And I'm like, no, it's
Did
not.
they try build doors like in Woodcraft by just putting
Yeah.
sticks in lines and going,
Yeah.
why is it not a door yet?
Yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they can't understand.
I need an axe. Just run off and bring back an axe. No, Timmy.
But yeah, it's a Super Mario Bros. Well, I mean, we should always talk about, and we always do in Mario games, the music, because first Mario game that picked in all those tunes, and
I don't really think
Can we say
there's
anything about
much
the
to say
music?
about the music
Yeah,
of Mario.
it's
Like, it's
brilliant.
not very iconic or anything, and it's kind of forgettable.
It's interesting.
No one really thinks about it anymore, so...
It's
for me,
iconic.
this is the game that started video game music. I mean, the fact that we're still hearing themes and variations on themes that were composed for this game so many decades later
That's
is a
true.
testament to how iconic they are. Because although the game was so popular that any music from it was going to live long in our sort of minds, the tunes are so memorable. Like, even if they were composed outside of the game on their own, you would remember them because they're catchy. And I think that has a large part in popularising the game, actually. People don't give music in games, especially games like this that are so bare, they don't give the music enough credit, but I think that was actually a large... The music and being bundled with the NES are the reason that Mario or Mario. Like, I mean, it could have had completely different gameplay. Like, it's running and jumping, it could have been whatever, it could have been a shooter, however they would have made that work. But the music and the fact that it came with the Nintendo, I think really popularised it massively with the people.
The music is huge. Like, kids today know that tune completely off by heart.
Yeah.
Even though they've never played, even though they've never played the NES game, they've played a Mario game.
I'm sure
and they know that music.
There was a survey I remember reading about once, and Mario is one of the most recognisable characters or people out there for children. And I think he was on par with like Jesus and Homer Simpson. He was more recognisable than Mickey Mouse. Which I thought was really interesting, because I was like, wow, I would have thought Mickey Mouse would have
Mickey,
easily
you hardly
been him.
see Mickey anywhere
Mickey
anymore.
Mouse is kind of an icon of a bygone era, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not in anything anymore, is he?
He's not in anything anymore. He doesn't
But
really
it's
do
strange.
anything anymore.
It's also strange that Mario is, maybe it's because the quality of games is always consistently so good, but it's interesting that Mario, all the way back from this, when this came out to now, he is still loved by kids. When if he didn't exist and someone came to me now with a character concept and goes, hey, look at this guy, right? He's red, got a moustache, he's a plumber. I'd go, no kid's going to like this. Give me like a robot.
I think part of the reason is that because of the translation issues, Mario hardly actually says anything in the games. There isn't any actual dialogue. He just does little noises.
Well, in Mario 1 he doesn't say anything.
Well, obviously, I know, but modern Mario.
Speaking to me.
And so the kids when they're first learning to play video games, they can easily mimic Mario because it's high pitched, like their voices.
Jumping on all
and
those
they
Goombas.
and they can do that. It's me, Mario. They all know it. They can all do it. It's a very simple catchphrase,
I think it's interesting.
which
I never
the
thought
kids
about that,
can
yeah.
all mimic, and therefore they're more likely to do it. Because kids are parrots when they're first learning to talk. They just say the random crazy things they hear.
Do you think that's why?
And this is self-perpetuating.
I've never thought about that, but now you've said that, actually, it all makes perfect sense. Because I'm thinking, obviously, the Teletubbies used to just say their names. Pokemon only say their name.
Yep.
And it's quite interesting because it does ingrain in you, especially also ingrains in you their name. Like Pikachu, he's saying his name over and over again. It's also like saying the brand, going Pikachu, Pikachu in your face.
By contrast, Sonic talks way too much these days.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tails! Let's run after Robotnik! And it's like, Jesus Christ, Sonic, shut up.
He does, whereas Mario doesn't say a lot. He's never even said Princess Peach.
I can't. Yeah, in even the most recent games of Galaxy, I don't think he says anything. He goes, "Oh," a lot, and that's it.
Exactly. Or Luigi's going, hey, because he needs to be rescued from the tree.
And stuff like that,
Exactly. And Princess goes, Mario.
It's really disconcerting to hear Charles Martinet like speak in the Mario voice for an extended period of time, because that's
I don't
just
like
not
it.
how
I'm
it should
surprised
be.
he's not allowed to. Like, I'm surprised they don't say to him, "You're not allowed to go to trade shows and start doing catchphrases and stuff."
Well, why
like
not?
that.
It's great publicity.
No, but maybe because what you're
he's
saying,
making money off it.
No, because from what you're saying, because if he starts saying whole paragraphs and reading Shakespeare out as Mario, the character doesn't
for adults.
do that.
For adults that will blow their minds. What I'm saying is the reason that Mario is so ingrained with kids from such a young age is because they can easily verbalise what they're hearing, and so they're more engaged with it. That's what I'm saying. Him at trade shows isn't going to engage a 3-year-old.
No, but what I mean is
they're not going to care that
Nintendo-
that's the voice of Mario. They're going to be like, Mario doesn't have a voice.
But what I mean is Nintendo could turn around and say, "Hey, stop saying loads of stuff. Mario doesn't talk much, okay? We paid you for 8 words. Stop running off and doing loads of things. We paid you for woohoo," and that was it.
I don't think Nintendo are quite come out to be Jack. Like,
They're really not.
No, they have that.
No, they're
Nintendo
not.
are
No,
lovely.
I don't think they're going round and going, "Oi, come here, stop making voices like Luigi." I don't think they're obviously nasty.
Have you not seen that one?
It's a brand.
They have like a booth set up where they have an animated, like 3D model of Mario, and Charles Martinet is somewhere else voicing it. And so fans can come up and have a conversation with Mario.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that is amazing.
He'll hear what they say and then respond, but the animated version will lip sync with it. So it'd be
That's
like
awesome.
because you don't think it's like a voiced person at first. You think it's just a
Yeah, but
bot or
like,
something,
but again, it's the problem because if you say to Mario, "Hey, Mario, what's your favourite book?" and he starts going, "Well, I really like Moby Dick,"
He does all
it's
that.
Not on that. Mario wouldn't do that. He'd be like, "No, Mario, you don't read books. You rescued a princess, and that's all you do."
No, but people love it. Plus,
Oh, I played Go Fish with Mario once. It was a Go Fish game.
What?
It was at Epcot in Disney World in Florida, and it was a computer game, and it was just Go Fish the card game.
Yeah.
It was that, except for it was Mario, and he go, "It's my turn. I guess I go fishing," and then he'd get a card, and he'd go,
Wait, why did they
"Hey, it's the winner!" And then
Jesus.
I just remembered that game. That was
Did you
amazing.
say this was at Disney?
I spent too long playing this Mario Go Fish game.
Disney and Nintendo have had strong ties for quite a while.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was in the Epcot Center in Disney World, Florida. And instead of going on all the rides and seeing all the stuff, I just wanted to play this video game.
I think Mario's very
Mario.
wholesome. Like, there's not many
I
brands
was 13 at the time.
that Disney would mix with, but Nintendo's one of them because they are a very wholesome family image company.
Well,
Yeah.
they are on purpose, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say
like
something about
Sonic.
the actual game that I always remember just completely blown my mind. I mentioned it earlier, but the amount that kind of like they're now. I guess now you would say they were bugs. Apart from the one, but the one I was talking about was when you could jump above the scoreboard and run through a scoreboard, which I remember doing that for the first time back in the day on the NES, and I was convinced I'd broken the game. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this! I'm running on a scoreboard. I always thought that was.
I'm Jack. I'm amazing. I am
No,
the
it was.
best ever.
And then I found a warp tunnel, and it blew my mind. And it was something. Even then, that they did that, and it was just absolutely incredible. And you can imagine when they were designing it, they must have had a big meeting saying, "Should we do this? Is it breaking the illusion of the game? Is it is it something we shouldn't really do? Should he just hit his head on the roof?" Awesome. I would say that's the best ever Easter egg in a game. Running along the scoreboard in Super Mario Brothers on Mario Brothers on.
Everyone really say it's
NES.
an Easter egg. It's not
It's,
really
well,
a
a
hidden
secret?
feature. Everyone,
it's a
everyone
secret.
discovered it in
Okay,
some
well,
way.
it's
No, Easter eggs are
That's what I
usually
was
pretty
It's like a
trivial.
bonus. It's like
Yeah.
a bonus.
okay.
like
Well,
a
then
bonus room
it's
or
the
something.
best ever secret in a video game, in my opinion.
I don't think it's the best ever
They
secret
put-
in a video game.
They put the front of Optimus Prime's truck form in Assassin's Creed 1, so I'm not sure I agree with
really?
you.
Oh, that's quite cool.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else about the game we should talk about. We haven't really talked that much about it, to be honest. So you guys didn't think it was difficult? Because I thought it was quite
It's
hard.
not that difficult.
Well, I
was
find
struggling.
it difficult to complete it in one go, starting at 1-1 and not using any of the walk rooms. I've never done that.
I made
I've completed it by using walk rooms, but that's it.
I made a terrible analysis of the game, which you guys are going to laugh at me for. I think playing Mario, especially Mario Bros. 1, is a lot like a racing game.
Yeah.
In that, the most thing is the fact that Mario has an accelerate button and that he can run. And if you let go of run, you gain more control, more like ability to move and can like maneuver a bit better. So you run, stop! Oh, he kind of brakes. Then you got time to react and carry on accelerating again. So it's almost like a racing game, but from a 2D obviously side perspective of
Well,
you
totally,
driving.
yeah. It's definitely
And
it
I've-
relies on angular momentum, doesn't it? Which
Yeah.
games rely on as well. So.
And I thought I was really clever when I thought about that. I
Well
was really
done,
proud.
you.
No, but it's true because I was thinking the reason I was thinking about it was okay. There's only two buttons. One is jump and one is to run. And I was thinking, why did they put jump in? Makes perfect sense. He has to jump. But why did they put run in? He
You have
didn't
to
need
run.
to run. I love the fact they must have had this extra button.
Because
and they
when
must
he
have,
walks, he's really slow.
But would you be saying that
running is
if you
much
didn't
better.
have the ability to run?
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy
Like,
it as much.
Is
The fun-
Zelda is Pokemon slow, or is it the fact you get the shoes and you run faster?
Well, I get the bike and cycle everywhere.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Do you know what I mean?
But no, it's all about the speeding up because you cover more ground and it's about building up the skill. It's
Yeah.
adding in that difficulty, isn't it?
Running
Like
makes
the
it
Pac-Man thing,
harder to master.
making it harder by going faster. Like,
But I love that. I love the key because obviously, arguably, if you wanted to complete the game,
and then it's the timed runs.
No, no,
Doing
but-
the speed
but-
runs, it's amazing.
What I was going to say, I mean, I know there is a timer on this one, which I always thought was a bit redundant on Mario. They shouldn't have put a timer on this game. It just let them just
Well, that's
complete
left
it.
over from the arcade area is building up
Yeah.
the points, isn't it?
But I was always interested because if you want to complete the game and you want to do really well, don't run. Take your time. You will complete the level still.
Well, do you
walk
not
a bit
get
slow.
extra points if you complete it faster?
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Yes.
But the points
again,
don't matter.
But they don't matter in terms of your progression.
Well, yeah,
that's
the
what
points
that's what
never
I was
matter.
saying. That's left over from the arcades.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
your high score did matter, and so completing it quicker did matter.
Yeah, but
But
sure,
because
none
it's
of
on
it
a home,
matters.
because it's on a home console. I mean, there isn't a scoreboard.
Yeah, you get your
Mario to
initials
put it
on
on.
Pac-Man at the end. You can put ass
Yeah.
next to your high score, but you can't
But-
do that with Mario.
I love that they give you the run button, only because the mentality of it is, well, if you're impatient, you can run, but you're going to get a lot less control. You're more risky, and you probably will.
Of
It's a lot
course.
harder, but they play on that impatientness of the player that go, yeah, I want to run everywhere. And
Teach
they-
a
That's-
valuable life lesson.
And that's
Yeah,
why
it's
they
true.
purposefully put enemies in where your sprite is going to land.
yeah.
Is so that you will hit them and die unless you know they're coming, and you change your jump arc so that you can then jump over them.
Well, the level
which
design
is the point.
The level design is perfect. If you watch someone doing a speed run, you'll notice that the level design is certainly not random. Like, if you run at full speed and you're jumping, you can purposely land perfectly on blocks. But there'll be certain bits where there'll just be like a hole that's purposely put there, because if you're running and you jump from there, you're going to land straight in that hole. So you have to slow down.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
In the thing, and it's brilliant how they've done that. And it is really like a real lovely thing.
You're making me realise that in, like you say, in Super Mario Bros, you don't have to run to complete the game. But in another simple platformer that does have a run button and is also similar in Super Meat Boy, which has got the same initials, which we've also done on Retrograde.
Check it out. Good episode.
Check out the episode.
Yeah.
Good episode. Compared to this, we probably mentioned this game in that episode as well. So
probably,
perhaps.
Inception. In that game, there's a run button.
Note.
In that game, there's a run button, but the run button in that is almost required for a lot of the levels, or at least it was for me. Like, I found some of the levels easier with running because
that's because the physics is a lot more complicated,
and it made the jumps more like the angles right and everything if you were running. Whereas in this game, it makes things easier if you don't run, and running is for if you want to make it harder and master it, get it done quicker.
Yeah.
So that's like opposite approach to the run button. Which I kind of find interesting. But something else I noticed in this game is that the levels seem a lot shorter distance-wise and a lot more like sort of short assault courses.
Yes.
Whereas, so they didn't feel so much like levels, where in Super Mario World, for example, which is the next really big iconic game for me, they felt much more like levels that you could explore.
Yeah.
In this one, they would just get over these obstacles, and there was way less variety in the, what do you call it? Not atmosphere, the locations. What do you call it?
The areas.
Yeah, but like
the themes.
Yeah, the themes of the worlds. You know that you don't have a snow world or anything. You have a kind of a swapped palette that looks whiter.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have underwater, which is the big, and the castles.
Oh, underwater levels of Mario, I've always hated.
Underwater levels in any game are
them.
just
It's because they suddenly changed the
Donkey
physics
Kong 2.
on
I know.
you completely.
I don't. Oh, I hate them.
I was going to say, kind of on the back of that.
So I like Crash Bandicoot. There's no underwater levels.
I
3 there is. Hate them.
I was going to say with Super Mario Bros. On the NES, on the back of you saying that, is I think Mario Bros. Is a much more interesting for a person watching than any other Mario game, because it's so much more simple and so much more the speed of it. It's much more easy to appreciate someone else playing it and watching what they're doing.
I don't know. Super Mario Galaxy is quite a spectacle. And you've got the second Wiimote. You can like.
No, I think he means knowing what the player's doing.
I guess in terms of skill, watching them play is interesting. Like if I watch someone running through a Mario level. Like, for example, when a pub near us, actually, you mentioned earlier, Hobgoblin. Do you remember they had a Mario in the corner on this? They had this game. And it was actually it always surprised me. I was like, why would people want to, and it's a classic. But it was actually very fun to watch people because you could appreciate very easily, even someone who's never playing video games, what that person's doing and the speed of their reaction.
Well, I think that's just just the simplicity.
They're running right. You can't go left in this game.
That's the point.
But maybe
I think that's just the simplicity
factor
because
of,
you can watch someone play Pac-Man and still enjoy it. Like, oh my god, he's going to get caught by
Maybe it is just the simplicity of the old arcade games.
It's because you can easily understand what they're facing without having to go through it yourself.
Whereas Super Mario World, like you say, is someone exploring. So if you're watching someone do that, you're not really exploring with them. You're just going with the flow of what they're doing.
But it makes it more enjoyable for the person playing, which is probably important.
If I was watching someone in the middle of playing Skyrim, I'd find it very boring. I'd be like, what's he doing? Oh, he's onto a butcher. Oh, okay, it's pretty boring. Jump around a bit.
Jump on a Goomba.
Do you guys reckon that Mario's the most hoarded out fictional character ever?
No,
Sonic.
Definitely not.
Surely
No,
Sonic
so
is.
is Sonic.
Mario's in more places than Sonic. Sonic's in more games.
Yeah, but Sonic.
but
the quality of Sonic, it's cheap.
Does it count to say they've been hoarded out if a majority of their games are actually very good?
No, I think he's saying put on
like in other industries,
pencil cases.
just like put on pencil. Like there are Mario sweets and lollipops, and there was a film. There was a feature film with live actors.
I think The Simpsons have been dragged all over the place in various forms as much.
See, as someone who has a lot of Mario tat, I really like it. Anthony bought me a Mario pencil case for my birthday last year, which I use at school as my pencil case. The kids love it.
A Nintendo product, because the thing is, you can say about the same about Disney and Mickey Mouse, but the thing I like about Disney, all their products are actually quite high quality.
Yeah.
Like you're drinking out of a Disney mug right now, and that's a great mug. That's lasted me about 10 years. That mug. You wouldn't be drinking out of that mug if you'd known where it's been. It's been around all over the place.
I'm still finding it weird that I'm drinking squash out of a mug.
Sorry, I had no glasses left.
It's all
But
right. I let it
I
go.
think it's because Mario games are so high quality that if they put it on loads of products like his face, then it doesn't really bother you because
Well, it's advertising.
it reminds you of the games that are high quality. Whereas having Sonic on a pencil case is like, well, Sonic's a bit.
You want the kids to buy the stuff to get the free publicity.
You ever
It's
heard
like
about
Pokemon.
Bill Watson? creator of Calvin and Hobbes. He never franchised them out or made any products out of them. They were like, you could make millions out of like t-shirts and lunchboxes.
He's already
and
made
thermos.
millions, though, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, I guess out of the books, but it's very commendable that he turned around and went, no,
Yeah.
I just want the comic strips. That's it. That's all I'm going to do.
But
Fair play.
yeah.
I just
George
remembered.
Lucas created Star Wars merchandise before
Oh.
releasing Star Wars.
Is that true?
Yes,
Blimey. Well,
like,
I
he
think
was all about the
Cars.
That
merchandising.
is Star Wars.
I was
in a
gonna say
nutshell.
the
Cars.
merchandise line on Cars 2 especially, but Cars 1, yeah, they'd made all the merchandise. For
Cars
it
is
was a
the-
huge success, and then they made Cars 2 and Planes.
Cars is the biggest earning Disney franchise purely because of the merchandising. So I'd say they're the most
I have
thought
a
out.
fantastic fact that it's made more on merchandise, except Toy Story 1, it's made more merchandise than all the other films, apart from Toy Story 1, combined, including Toy Story 2 and 3.
What did Cars?
Cars merchandise on
Wow.
its own. And the reason is, apparently, it literally comes down to as simple as little boys love cars.
And cars
That's
are really
very true.
expensive.
That's
Yeah.
why they've done planes. Next it'll be tanks.
It is. Remember, my little nephew, he loves cars. Anything cars, he goes wild for.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Because Cars was noticeably the worst Pixar film.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the kids don't care.
True, but it's just interesting that was also technically
It's
the most
also
profitable.
It's
also
easy to make it. Like it's harder to make stuff that you can sell to kids from. I know Up.
Well, but Toy Story was literally a film in which all of the characters were toys.
But those all toys were high quality. Like you can't make little.
Exactly,
There's-
they weren't cheap. Those
there's
toys.
definitely like a
Toy
psych-
Story toys weren't cheap.
There's definitely a psychology behind it, because I don't know why, but my little nephew, he was only a year and a half, but you gave him a toy car. I know it had wheels on it, but he knew exactly what to do with it. He's pushing it along the floor. It's really strange. And it's boys. Girls aren't really that bothered by cars. Boys, he loves it. And when he's pushing the car, he'll be looking at the wheels.
Stereotypically, I might add.
No, but it's
I know the
true. I'm not trying to
stereotypes.
say it.
No, the
but-
stereotypes. Girls love getting the fake high heels, and brushing their hair, and putting on fake makeup and stuff. And boys love playing with cars and swords and fighting.
But it's
And getting
but it
jobs.
must.
Stereotypically, that's shut up.
Do you think that's ingrained?
Stereotypically, that's what it
Do
is.
you think that's ingrained into them from media and things like that?
Of course it is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's way
Of course
too big
it
a
is.
But I don't know-
discussion
That's
for
the
this
point
show.
of it.
I don't know how
Let's
my-
stop this right now. It's too big a discussion,
I just
please.
don't know how my
Super
year and a
Mario Bros.
half-
on the other hand
Yeah,
is
sorry.
for everybody.
How does Super Mario Brothers affect gender roles in society, guys?
Well, princess.
Well, the man has
you
to
could
go
say it's a
rescue
bit
the woman.
negative.
No, let's not.
the
Shatters
women
glass
can't
ceiling.
rescue herself.
Let's stop right now.
It's also a bit.
Bowser is a woman.
It's also bad on lizards.
Oh my god, Bowser lesbian.
Whenever I see lizards now, I just step on them because I'm going, that's for stealing princess.
Yeah, but your foot's gonna get all minced up. They're spiky, man. Come on, think about these things before you do them.
Oh.
That's why you limp everywhere.
Would you like to hear some trivia on the game?
Yes.
Always.
Cool. Pretty boring, actually, most of it.
Let's just skip it.
Excellent.
First video game to introduce side-scrolling to platform games.
What?
First video game to introduce side-scrolling to platform games. Before
Really?
this, no game had ever
wow.
side-scrolled.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
that's interesting.
Which is actually really
That's why
interesting.
they couldn't go back.
Because when they did it on the NES, they couldn't do the same technology couldn't be done yet on PC, and id did it. John Carmack did it. They pitched it, showed Mario to Nintendo. Nintendo said we're not interested in PC. They were really upset. They were like, "Oh, we were really thinking this was going to be our big break." So I thought it was really interesting. So they do have a copy of Mario.
Well,
on
they did
NES.
Commander Keen, right? That's probably using the same technology.
Now, I had to... I was meant to look this up, this fact for a thing, so I didn't even say. It sold 40.23 million units, making it the best-selling video game of all time.
But it's shipped with an NES.
As a result, it holds a Guinness World Record as the greatest selling video game ever. I'm going to probably regret saying this, I might have to put it in the show notes, but I think that's been beaten by Wii Sports now.
I thought The Sims beat it.
I think it has as well, and I'm going to quickly
Hasn't
look up...
GTA 5 beaten it?
Not yet, no.
I think there's a caveat to that statistic because I remember reading that Wii Sports sold more in a certain sense, but Super
Well,
Mario-
Well, Wii Sports was bundled, so
Thanks,
it doesn't really count.
Exactly.
thanks to the power of the internet, I've looked it up already, and Wikipedia is loading up the list of best-selling video games of all time. Anyone want to guess what number one is?
Super Mario Bros.
GTA 5.
Oh, just do all consoles.
/ Wii Sports.
I reckon it's The
Disney
Sims.
Princess Dress Up.
Right.
I still think it's The
Yeah,
Sims.
I am completely... I was right. Wii Sports sold 82.98 million
Where's
copies,
The
making
Sims?
that the best-selling copy. The second most best-selling game of all time, Super Mario Bros. On NES,
Oh,
with 40.24. And we're rolling down the list. I'll go to Tetris with 35 million. Mario Kart Wii with 34. Wow, Nintendo actually have top 7. That's incredible. Wii Sports Resort, 31 million. The new Super Mario Bros. On the DS got 30 million. Grand Theft Auto 5 selling 29 million, down to Wii Play 28. New Super Mario Bros. Wii with 27. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, then Grand Theft Auto 4, Nintendogs. The Sims isn't even in the top 30.
Jesus Christ.
You get all the way down to Sonic the Hedgehog on 15 million plus. Well, 50 million, a few more. I don't know how many. Wow, actually, really fascinatingly, looking at the top 20, I would say, including Pokemon, Mario Kart DS, Wii Fit, Super Mario World, Brain Age, about 15 of these are Nintendo.
So are the top 10 literally
And
Rockstar
people wonder why
Nintendo
I love
games?
Nintendo.
Sorry?
Are the top 10 literally Rockstar Nintendo games?
Yes.
Well, if that doesn't tell you something about the power of branding, I don't know.
Or
what
and
does.
Tetris, but Nintendogs. Sorry, I'm just looking at this list now. Pokemon Red, Wii Fit Plus, blimey. So yeah, so it's the second best-selling game of all time, only beaten by Wii Sports, which is worthy of great game, better game. This game was the first appearance of Princess Peach, Toadstool, and King Bowser Koopa, among a few other characters like the turtles and the mushrooms and those guys. This game does not feature Luigi's first appearance. He appeared in Mario Brothers, the arcade game.
No, because you can
prior to
play it
this.
as a 2-player.
No.
It means it's not the first time
Not
he
his
appeared.
first appearance.
Oh,
in a
okay,
game.
sorry.
Mario's moustache and hair colour change when he gets a fire flower.
Yep,
It's interesting.
goes ginger.
Shigeru Miyamoto had originally wanted to give Mario a dinosaur to ride on for the game, but the hard limitations mean he couldn't. But he finally got his wish in Super Mario World, where he got to ride Yoshi.
Boom.
In the game's manual, it stated that the Koopas turn the mushroom people into stone, bricks, and plants. So you could imply that means Mario's going around killing all the people.
For the greater good, though, let's just point that out. For
Yeah.
the greater good.
And there are,
I.e. the princess.
Yeah, for the prince.
and I won't go into all of them, but there are lots and lots of very famous bugs in this game. People have really cracked this game open and found everything, including like World Zero, which is a fully fledged world, completely programming. It's hidden away in the game code you can get to, and it looks like it was just a bizarre testing ground for the designers, just filled with objects, filled with really weird things, filled with like bugs that are purposely there for them to test, like jumping over the flag, completing a level and going back to the start of the level while still on the flag, loads of things like that, and it's very interesting. People did manage recently to discover a bug. I think it was even those guys doing the Mythbusters who managed to do it. In World 3-3, you can easily jump over the flagpole by just basically getting enough speed and jumping at the perfect angle to get over the flag. And then what happens is then this level, a bit boring, just bricks forever, which is great. But yeah, there you go.
And
Oh,
on some of the levels, I just remembered this because I've never known the answer. What do the fireworks mean? Because you don't get fireworks in all of them. You only get fireworks on some of them.
Is that not the end of the
What's-
world?
Is it?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
I never thought
Because you
about it,
get
actually.
one firework
Well,
sometimes.
some-
Sometimes you get 3 fireworks.
Is that based on how high on the flag you are?
yeah.
I don't know.
Some levels have a bigger castle at the end as well.
That-
do you know?
That's the end-
Exactly.
that's the end
I
of
think
the
that's the end of the world. It's
Yeah.
the biggest castle.
I think the fireworks are related to how high on the flag you are, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I've always wondered.
The whole
Wonder if you guys knew.
that little mechanic of jumping on the flag is
Oh, it's
great.
great.
And even the most recent Super Mario 3D Land has that, and it's the fight for all of you who can get higher up the pole, which is brilliant. If you have the cat suit on in the new game, you can quickly tap A as you're on the flag to quickly run up it as the cat before he
Oh, I
grabs
can't
it.
wait to play Cat
brilliant.
Mario. It's going to be more
I'm
fun.
never playing that game while you wear your catsuit.
I'm very close. Well, I was nearly going to buy a Wii U purely for that game.
Oh, me too. It looks so good.
It looks so much fun.
I'm getting one in the new year.
I'm going to wait for Mario
Sam,
Kart 8.
can I come
I
and live
think.
with you for a while?
Yeah.
Good.
I can't wait. But yeah, and that rounds up the show. So we go into the retrograde part of the show. Anthony, you chose a game. How are we grading this?
Axe.
Whoop, whoop.
Axe.
X.
I guess we'll have to go with power-ups from the Mario
We've
series.
done that. I did that when we did Super Mario World.
Okay, which type of axe would you grade this?
I would go with a wood chopping axe because it's iconic, useful. If you show it to someone, even a kid knows what that's for. Well, they'll mess with it, but they know what it's for.
I'd go with a fire axe because it's always very useful to have. I don't know where I'm going with this. I was going
It was
axe
in The
red.
Shining.
It's
It was
red.
in The
It's
Shining,
red.
which is very popular.
It's in The
as
Shining.
well.
That's it. That's it.
It's red like Fire Mario.
Yeah, it saves lives.
I'm going to go with the legendary axe of Gloin, handed down to Gimli in the Lord of the Rings. Because the funny thing is, people out there are going to be having a go because I don't know if it was Gloin. I think Gloin handed it down to Gimli, but because Gloin was his father, I think, or maybe his uncle or his cousin or something like that. Anyway, yeah, because it is a legendary, powerful axe. It's handed down through the ages, just like this game has been handed down through the ages and always passed on to new designers who do amazing things with it, like trying to bust open the Ring of Moria or whatever it's called, but it doesn't fail. It cracks everywhere. I don't know what I'm going with. And it's a beautiful axe, very big, very powerful, and it's legendary, and it's been around millions of years, and it always will be. Because it's made of dwarven metal from the mines of
I just need to
Moria.
point out that you just said said that Mario's going to be around for millions of years.
Millions. Oh, yeah,
You want to
forever.
stand by that one?
Forever.
Okay.
Until the sun explodes.
Well, if any game series will be around for millions of years, it'll be Mario.
I'm pretty sure
And Call of
Nintendo are going
Duty.
to save the world, if they haven't already.
They're going to coat it in Nintendium.
They have many times. Why do you think we keep having to save the princess?
Yeah.
What do you think those big balls of gas were at the end of Super Mario Galaxy you were punching towards Bowser?
Jack, you're
that
right,
was
this was a
nuclear energy,
documentary.
man.
I'm going to go with the one of those single-headed axes where
Pole axe.
the sharp bit is a different colour. If you ask someone to draw an axe, it'd be that axe.
Oh, right.
Because
Like
that's
the red edge.
Yeah, because that's the most iconic
Do you mean a
axe.
red with a white edge?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a fire axe.
That's
Okay.
a fire axe, that's what I
Been
said.
done.
Well, that type of axe, but not necessarily a fire type. Just
An ice
A
axe.
water type.
if you're like, hey, have you got just a
Psychic type.
simple? If you went to an axe shop and said,
Plus two to
"What's your most common axe?" You'd be like, "This one." It'd be that one.
I'd say it's an executioner's axe.
No, that's like a different type of that's a long
pretty
handle.
morbid.
That's a scary axe.
I don't know how you'd relate that to Mario. That
Well, no, he does
Sorry,
kill
well,
a
I'm
lot
not.
of
It's
turtles.
Anthony.
That's
Sorry,
true,
carry on with your
yeah.
fire.
If you go into Axe World and ask for their best-selling axe, it'd be that one because it's so iconic and simple and classic, and it's the one everyone uses and everyone
probably have a
knows.
freaking Mario version. It's on everything, Jesus.
Yeah, a Mario-themed axe because it's like Mario. So I'm basically choosing the axe.
That's such a cop-out.
Not a axe,
Brilliant.
the axe.
The axe, the one you're thinking of right now,
If
listener.
you're at home right now and you've got an axe, go look at it and go, "That's what Mario. That's what you figured is Mario game."
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So that's it.
Brilliant. Yeah, cool. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show, you can visit our website at retrogradeshow.com. Show notes for this show can be found at psychon.net/R39. You'll be also be able to find links to our Twitter feeds and our Facebook page and links to stuff we've discussed on this show. And don't forget to head over to iTunes, put us down a review because you're going to get the Kick-Ass Christmas card signed
And a
by all
badge.
of us. I'll have to have shall I order 400, 500? I mean,
at least
Yeah.
I'm going to get cramped signing all these cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get that and a badge.
And a badge. The badges are awesome.
And there'll be a competition tweet going up on our Twitter feed at Retrograde Show. If you retweet that, you'll be in a
entered into
chance
competition.
We now
to
have,
win the EA Humble Bundle.
and we went over our landmark of 1,000 followers. So thanks
Yes.
everyone out there for following us. That's
Woo!
awesome.
Well done
Thank
to
you
you
very
guys.
much.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to be back in 2 weeks playing another classic, Pac-Man, chosen by you, Lizanne.
Yes, me.
Fantastic.
Jack.
You can't just say you and point on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for him to say my name. It's like,
does
you've
that all
got to
the
say my
time.
name, Jack. You can't see me.
So many times you look at me and say, "I know this is going to annoy you," but like, who is that? They have no idea.
I'm talking to the listener.
Did
you choose this, isn't
well,
it?
then
Nope,
please stop
Lizanne.
making eye contact with me.
You are right. I'll have to. Can you all wear name badges? Lizanne, why did you choose Pac-Man?
Because it's Pac-Man.
Why Pac-Man and not Man-Pac?
Well,
circular
well,
argument.
Or Mrs.
can't we...
Or Mrs. Pac-Man, you
We're gonna-
sexist.
Ms.
Yeah, come
Pac-Man.
on.
Actually, she wasn't married.
Ms.
Was she,
Ms.
not, was she not
Pac-Man.
married to Pac-Man?
No, she was Ms.
No, she might have been and
She
chose
doesn't
to
need a man,
retain.
Jack.
This is it. They
Well,
gave
maybe if
her...
she had a man, she wouldn't be running around a maze eating up all those
How
pills
do you
and
know
stuff.
that? Maybe
They
the man
gave
would
her, they
support
gave her a
dream.
marital status, but they gave her the Ms, so we don't know whether she's married or unmarried. They might have got divorced.
So you're telling me
In
she's
which
on the
case she
market?
becomes Ms.
Hello?
No, she might be on the market. You don't know until
Kept
you
trying
ask
to
her.
munch the
How do I
same
know
carrot.
if she's a Ms? She's not. She's on the market, right?
No, Ms means they don't want you to know.
Ms means
Oh.
you don't know.
Oh, right. I thought it just
Ms
meant
means
I
none
thought
of
it
your
when they weren't
goddamn
married.
business.
No, that's Miss.
Miss is not married.
Oh, right.
Mrs. is married.
Jack, you don't have a
Oh,
shot.
I'm learning
Oh my
so
God,
much stuff.
How is he still
I'm
alive?
learning
How
so
does he
much.
feed himself?
Mate, Ms. Pac-Man is famous.
Because
She's
I'm
not
a
going to...
mister. Because no matter what happens to
She's
me,
rich,
I'm
dude.
always Mister. Unless I become a doctor.
Listen, mate. A famous bird like Ms. Pac-Man is not going to slum it with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the bull?
Anyway, I chose Pac-Man because it's Pac-Man. Enough said.
Fair enough.
We're going to talk about it
No,
on the
no, it's fine.
episode.
No, it's gonna be good.
Everyone knows Pac-Man.
I don't know. We
I
might have to
reckon
have
I've
the blurb.
eaten more fruit in Pac-Man than I have in real life.
I'd agree.
Those goddamn cherries.
And pills. But yeah, so
Okay,
make sure
that went dark.
you tune in in 2 weeks' time to that episode of Pac-Man, which could be fantastic. Mr. Pac-Man. And that's goodbye from me, Jack Marshall. Goodbye from Anthony Hobday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Lizanne Fisher.
Bye.
And goodbye from James McFadden.
If you have a moment, you should check out Gone Home, because our lovely Jack Marshall here worked on it briefly.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Fantastic.
Excellent game, yeah. Very atmospheric. So if you like Dear Esther or any of those kind of story-driven games, check it out. It's good. See you later.